I think, like you said, I think what happens is when people are getting older, at least, there's a narrowing of possibilities. Whereas when you're in your teens or 20s, you think anything is possible. And even if things aren't working out right now, it can work out tomorrow, and there's
You're
sort of blue sky.
basically. Yes.
Sky. And then unfortunately, sometimes maybe the problems of life, whether it's relationships or children or work, start becoming heavier. And the possibilities of making them better seem, I think, to many people to be diminishing. I think that's for one of the reasons why there's so much unhappiness, maybe in this age group. In reality, though, unfortunately, the reality of the world is most people are not as happy as they should be. That, I think, can be said for sure. Even more than that, I think many people are too often unhappy with their lives. And that's why I have to say that this topic for me, as I was thinking about it and preparing for it, is so exciting. Because if you ask the person, I think if you ask everybody here in our audience, our listeners, do you believe that you can change? Because that's really the question. Whether you can change your level of happiness, whether you can change really anything about your personality, I think, hopefully, many people will say yes. Science...
I'm not sure many people would say yes.
They can change their circumstances.
I think they would hope. I think that's why people spend a lot of money in the therapist's couch.
Right.
And different ways, help change me to make me
so
happy.
that means that people think they can change, right? Why do people get trainers?
People hope they can change.
Right. Right. The reason people do any of those self-help, wellness areas of their lives is because they believe they can change. Well, science says something very scary, but if you understand it on a spiritual level, it's actually inspiring. But the basic message of a set point is that, according to science, really almost no matter what you do to be happier, no matter what you do to lose weight, no matter what you do to make your relationship better, it's almost always going to go back to this set point, which again can be a very depressing thought. And hopefully tonight we will inspire our listeners with ways around that idea,
to change your set point.
Yeah, or maybe more importantly, how to use that for your benefit. But I think it's if a person goes through life without this understanding, then he or she might underestimate the type of investment, time and effort that must be invested into anything we want to change. Because, and we were having a conversation last night with somebody who's also in this sort of the spiritual space. A lot of people, I would say most of the people in the world, want to make their lives better. But what is underestimated is how much work and investment that actually takes.